Hi, I'm Dan Jones. I'm with Light Reading, and I'm here in Barcelona at Mobile World Congress for OrbTV. And I'm here with David Orloff, who is the chair of the Small Cell Forum. Hi, David. How you doing?
Hi, Dan. I'm doing good. How are you?
Okay. Great. So we're here to talk about the Small Cell Forum, and initially, we'd kind of like to know your kind of what you're announcing here at the Congress and the kind of goals for 2018.
Yeah, so the Small Cell Forum has been really focused on driving the uniformity, removing fragmentation as we evolve towards 5G. So over the last 12 to 18 months, we've been reorganizing ourselves accordingly and trying to ensure that we have all of the inputs and requirements from the whole industry. And so what that really entails is aligning with various industry partners, looking at what they do best so that we can kind of be the hub and take that into a uniform approach as we go towards 5G. That really includes industry associations like TIA, 3GPP, GSMA, and the like, on the things that they do best.
Okay, so you mentioned partnerships. Do partnerships become ever more important as we move towards 5G in the next couple of years?
I think that, as the industry is very fragmented, again, these industry associations are really looking at very small bits of the 5G architecture and solution. And so what we're trying to do is to work with them on what they do best, to really help operators and the overall ecosystem with removing the barriers for small cell deployment. A good example would be our relationship with TIA right now, where we are working to come up with definitions for smart enterprise, smart buildings, as well as for smart cities to come next. So what this really allows is to try and allow building owners or cities, when they do retrofitting, whether it be for wiring in a building or for the poles in a city, to put in the fabric and the framework so that 5G can really be effective on a very linear investment perspective.
And are you working with operators to kind of address some of these 5G challenges and issues?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Small Cell Forum is an operator-led organization. We have several, 20s, 30s operators that participate with the Small Cell Forum. In December, we had an operator group to really learn what their challenges were around 5G so that we could focus our energy on those specific items, again, to ease the barrier and make that investment efficient for them.
Okay. And obviously, densification is kind of at the root of 5G, but how are you working with the industry to address some of the densification issues? Obviously, small cells are going to play a big role there.
Yeah, so last year in July, we had our first partnership day in Atlanta. In September, we actually had our first densification summit in Mumbai, India, at the GEO headquarters. Coming up in April, we're moving our densification summit, kind of combining the two and having our partners join us in a densification summit in Sophia Antipolis in the south of France at the ETSI headquarters. Our real goal there is that we see that the Americas and APAC are really building the framework again, having this nice linear investment approach to 5G, deploying cells that are NR capable hardware-wise, building up the transport network, and doing all the end-to-end solutions that were required to support 5G. We see Europe lagging behind a little bit. And so what we really want to do is address that in the south of France in April to really get the understanding across to the European community on what they need to do to ensure that they can meet the needs of 5G. A really good point about this is yesterday, I'm not sure if you saw, but Commissioner Carr at the FCC actually just announced that in the short term they're going to be working on new legislation in the U.S. to ease small cell deployments. we're very proud of the work that the Small Cell Forum had done that led up to that. We see similar approaches with the EU Commission, and we actually met with the EU Commission last September, where all 28 members participated. So we really think that we can make new grounds, make new progress in Europe that based on the efforts in the US and APAC.
Hmm. And obviously, a lot of the initial 5G push is probably going to be in kind of cities, dense urban areas. But can we see a role for small cells, particularly around 5G, in improving rural connectivity?
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's a lot of discussion around providing, using 5G to provide fixed wireless,
Yeah.
next generation fixed wireless, and I think that that's going to be targeted a lot of in areas where there is no connectivity. We're actually having a summit in July, hosted by Union Wireless, to really look at effects of small cells for 5G in the remote and rural locations.
Great. All right. It's good to talk to you, man.
Great.
Thanks so much for your
Appreciate
time.
it.
All right. I've been Dan Jones, light reading for OrbTV. Thank you.